I was just smacking like a motherfucker before I turned the camera on. I can't put no seasoning on here. Oh well, garlic is the only seasoning I can put on these olives for real. And then I put some dill and paprika and some parsley. I love me a good snack. Hey, get on there. Whopper baby, whopper baby, whopper. Woo! Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. It almost tastes like Parmesan with that olive. It's kind of crazy how it tastes like that. Dun, 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 dun. Blue Sky do. We can too. Uh-oh. Wait. Oh shit. That definitely. So, trigger warning for this video, just so you know. Trigger warning. We are talking about some heavy deep, in which it's not like I didn't cover this already, for real, for real. But you know what I mean? Is for people that are just now tapping in, tuning in, and things like that to understand what exactly it is that they need to face, and they don't have uh, the trauma and the exposure what they were exposed to. They can choose to do better. They can choose to be greater than what they were taught, right? With their own free will, um, if and whenever they may choose. It's amazing. My doctor said I had dry eyes. I thought my eyes were quite juicy for real. And it is what it is. Whatever. I don't know where that came from. Dry eye, cleared up with whatever that stuff is. Um, so the heavy topic is, hey, thank you for tapping in again. Hello again. So, y'all, trigger warning, y'all. Just so you know. Trigger warning, we're talking about, shadow self and what to heal and how to come out of that from whatever trauma you may have had. And also, it goes along with learning how that what you may not feel as triggering to other people, how that is also a part of your shadow self as well, or it can be. Don't let nobody gaslight you, okay? Thank you for the like. Thank you for the like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Um, and don't let nobody gaslight you. You know what I mean? That's why I constructively not only point out what constructively what some of the issues are and how they can be handled and resolved, in great detail. But with people to use their own free will is towards the steps they can take toward healing. You know what I mean? So it's important to give great detail and some instruction as to how to go through these emotions and understand people that ultimately are in this toxic energy and what they are facing, what demons they're facing, or what demons they're choosing not to face for the world to see, ultimately. And it's kind of crazy, you know. Gaslighting is real. Narcissism is a thing. It just is what it is. There's no other way to call the demon out but just what the demon is, and its purpose and its focal points and how it prays and not pray. You know, uh, pray like it want to eat, it wants to feed, it wants to siphon, it wants to be vampiristic in your energy in your life. Y'all, I don't think y'all understand how much shit a lot of people is gonna have to go through right now, in the hell that they created for themselves. Ultimately, the real things that these other beings that are here on this planet, or that can come to this planet, or have been to this planet, still exist on this planet, how they are reflections of us. How? I'll use Spawn, the movie Spawn, as an example, right? It's just it's it's a good depiction of how the devil, right, wanted Spawn, a melanated Spawn, to lead his army. Think about why that is. Think about the representation, the influence. But you know what? Spawn took control of his rage. He took control of his revenge and what he wanted from what was done to him. And this is the shadow aspect. The guy that later on came into the movie taught him that self reflection, right? That the anger was going to make him weak, it's going to make him vulnerable. So it's to the same likeness of understanding that that's exactly what happens. You're actually weaker the more that you are a bully, the more that you pick and you tear down people instead of uplifting them and giving them constructive ways of, uplifting themselves and guiding themselves and giving them aspirations to look forward to, right? Just love me some garlic. So, because at first, in the beginning, he wanted his revenge. He came close to killing the person that killed him, right? We all have choices. It's in the choices that we make is how we create our own personal hell. And the devil will promise them all these things. You can have the woman that you love again, and you can run my army, and we can rule the world. Who the fuck can really rule? Who the fuck can really rule the world when the world is a chaos being in its natural state? It's not so chaotic, it is just nature. Take care of nature. Who is the naturer? The nurturer, the nature versus nurture is the psychology, the psychological warfare that is pretty much going on. Spawn still had parts of him that were not vulnerable. I'm not gonna like that. Um, Parts of him that were vulnerable and still soft within him, but it still hurt him too at the same time because he felt that he was in his shadow, and that's how the shadow can feel at times. The shadow can feel like you're very ugly, like you don't fit in, you're outcast, and you can only fit in with other demons that are the same. Unless you choose to do better, unless you choose to take the higher road, unless you learn how to take that higher road and be a better you. Because remember how the clown would come and he would just say all these sexual, vulgar, nasty things, and just so annoying and so grotesque, right? And he'd be egging him on. He was feeding his fury, and it was the devil's advocate, right? The clown from Spawn was the devil's advocate. He was playing both sides. He was playing, the guy that unalived Spawn against him, and also setting the guy up that unalived Spawn with an implant with a certain disease that would unalive the whole world to, in their attempt, peacefully take over the world. This is why they just released Spawn. It's different now that I'm talking about it at this now, and at this moment now. And Spawn, with his self empowerment, eventually turned it into self empowerment. And even though this devil and these demons were bigger than him, or the many of them, still felt and found a way to still this disarm the detonator that was implanted in this guy and save the world, right? And guess what? Where did it target? His fucking heart. Y'all have to think about these symbolisms in these movies and what they represent and what they actually mean. The man was heartless. 1414. He didn't want to change. And ultimately, excuse me, to his own completion. Energy never dies, it only transfers. Now, I've talked about this many times that when I was little, I was bullied. I didn't know why my own mother hated me and bullied me and picked on me. More so than she did her own daughter. I mean, like, beat me. And I noticed that my older sibling, the, the girl I grew up with, didn't get whoopings like I did, didn't get disciplined like I did. It felt as I was being brought up to be a slave, honestly and truly. I was so angry and so hurt. And I can honestly say I was about probably 4 to 5 years old. Yeah, about around the time I was traumatized of Chucky because of my older sibling and cousin, that I wanted to unalive my mom and my sister. But I chose not to. Why? Because I felt like it was wrong and nobody would understand why I would have made that choice. This was my thought process at 4 or 5 years old. This is the emotions that you can thrust people into when you put them into survival mode, understandably. But I chose not to make another personal hell within my life, within the hell that I was already existing in, which was very much so hell to me. It was merely surviving in this foster home. So I didn't unalive them. I knew when I could do it at night while they were asleep. Loved my dad at that time. And I was like, he won't understand. But then now today, I find out that he would have understood. He would have been definitely heard about it, but he would have understood why. I was the only one that really didn't know. Everybody else knew me. So I made the choice not to unalive my sister and my mom. Still grew up, still survival mode my whole life in that environment. And, you know, tortured, picked on, bullied on by cousins, family members, people I didn't know, people who were at school, severely. And then punished for protecting myself. Always punished for that. Always. Um, it was the type of self imprisonment that you wouldn't wish it your worst enemy to feel. It pushed me into being a loner because it became more safe that way for me in my life to um, not have to deal with the whys of why people were treating me the way that they did. And then finally, I wanted to question that, and I went into psychology, child psychology. I put myself to counseling, I put myself to, you know, anger management. Even though I wasn't the one with the anger problems, it did make me angry at times, but I did not lose control of myself. But the projections of what the story that was told about me would say other than wise. It doesn't say the part that people played in order to make me be that way towards them, which is typically the case. So, as we're dealing with this shadow side, I maintained my shadow fairly well throughout my life. There was multiple fights that me and this sibling in particular that I grew up with got into a fight, multiple fights with. Um, Mind you, way shorter than her. She was always taller, always bigger than me. And one day I finally had enough and I started fighting back. Loved my mom still, loved my dad still, until he lied to me. There were certain things I just wouldn't tolerate from other people, period. I started putting boundaries up. Ultimately, that's what they were. And I was told that you're not allowed to do that. You, you don't talk back to me. You don't. It was looked at as disrespect. Me now knowing today that I was my only line of defense. So when you see children lashing out, 9 times out of 10, they're not lashing out for no reason. But if you really take your time and really talk to that child, and it's it's kind of hard to learn how to give them a safe place to reoccurringly come back to in order to talk to somebody about what's going on. Because a lot of people assume the story that the adult is telling about their child or children, that is for facts, and why would they lie on a child? I know that all too well, that you can question everything and fall for nothing. So throughout the bullying and growing up and still, grooming myself to be a decent person under the means and guise of what I was told, from what I seen, from what was done to me, I tried my best to be a very good person, and to find out I needed to not only get away from my environment, but learn how to put up better boundaries, know and learn my environments around me, and know what truly happened in order to heal myself. Needless to say, is I grew up really resenting my mom because I still cared for her in her weakest moments, and her own daughter gave up on her. The one that she upheld, honored higher than me, the one that she loved, she trusted with everything that she had. She was the better child. She was perceived as a child. She was really doing some dirt. A lot, you know, to me sexually, and just sexually promiscuous. And she blames that on cousins seeing porn and them experimenting with each other. So I learned that I did not want to have that around me at all. I didn't want to have it around my children, for them to be able to be exposed to that. Unfortunately, we can't help what goes on in other people's house sometimes. But when we become aware of situations, then we change that, right? So Needless to say, my mom got to see who was really on her side and who was really not on her side. And she should have did better as a parent, especially knowing that how her daughter was a bully and the purpose and the meaning of why she was doing it. And I did tell her after I became an adult, after I had my first child, my daughter, that I was triggered by what had been done to me. But now, knowing how I'm an empath and how I was picking up really on her energy, how it was not my own, but it was definitely triggering. Um, the karma that ensued on her for her transgressions against me and my children, for her own daughter, because of her own beliefs. And this is how beliefs can really make or break a person. And it really does depend on what that person on doing with what they have learned. The difference between right and wrong, and how to grow out and through that in order to become a more beautiful version of what they were meant to be, as opposed to what demons wanted them to be. The curse that was with them, that spewed onto me, no matter how bad they thought my original parents were, that the energy, it didn't make them susceptible to not having to deal with the same demons. Just in a cute bow, just a little prettier, just a little bit more to their liking. A cuter demon, shadow demon. So, mind you, don't know what that sibling is doing at this point that I grew up with, but she still remained to make horrible decisions for my life and my children's life that ended up where we are today. But what I can say is, mentally, I'm sane from all of what has happened and have my things together and the more responsible one, to societal norms. But I've always been that way. And just because I learned differently mean that I was bullied and shunned simply because of that. It's like we really need to be careful with how we teach our children to treat others according to what standards, according to what God you serve. So-called societal norms aren't so normal because they actually end up breeding and grooming wild ass people. Wild ass boy went home to his wild ass mother. It's Ice Age. Is that the Ice Age 2? I think that's Ice Age 2. Ah, that's funny. It's 2 or 1. It's like in the beginning of the movie, it's like the first 30 minutes has to be something like that. Um, yeah, it was right before he had Peaches. Oh Lord, that's hilarious. But anyways, it's like who raised these people? And it's like we're better off raising ourselves, honestly, instead of our parents raising us at times. That requires a lot because yes, books are good, you know what I mean? But also experience is a teacher as well. And unfortunately, our experiences can either make us or break us. A lot of people do not have the mental capacity of making it through half the shit I went through just in my childhood alone. And then for that shit to travel into my adulthood, I knew it was just, you can't make nobody change. Like, I still looked up to her as my sister, and she could not be that. She wasn't that. So in spirituality, we have to understand the entity for what it is. It doesn't matter how they relate to you, how you know them. It doesn't matter. What matters is what they display to you. So, what army are you leading? Because without Spawn, he had no one to lead the army. Why is that? Why? Spawn would have been in his ego. Spawn would have been his high horse, on his revenge, on every toxic level that he could have possibly been in. That would have caused people starvation, famine, all the all the fucking, they say 7 horses, however many horses. I'm so tippy toeing around this whole subject, and I don't understand. It's not for me to understand. A lot of things aren't for us to understand. It's one thing to get understood. Everything is not meant for you to understand. Sometimes you just gotta move and you just gotta get away from people. And it goes without question. Either people respect it or they don't. You know, that's just how it is. And I've learned that if they don't respect me, then well, I gotta move around. Or they gotta move around. Someone gotta move around. It is what it is. Some people are seasonal. Some people are there. It could be there forever, but 9 times out of 10, we're having a human experience, and we're not just meant to stick together forever. There are some cases in which God places people together, and to be the example of. But you know, there's times when your divine partner is not so divine, not so divinely ready, and yeah, nobody can do anything about that but them. And sometimes it comes around where it's too late to where you're like, I'd rather not. I'd rather not try that. I'd rather not go buy it. I'd rather not. Rather not. So it is what it is. We're all learning about the shadow self, and it is heavy. I've already talked about this, so I don't know. Like I said, somebody else could be going through this at this time, and here's the audience. And, you know, a lot of people really are going through this shit right now. Honestly, and it's a rough ride. It's a rough ride. It's a rough ride and it's a long ride because that shit is forever. That shit is for the rest of your life. Oh no! Don't fall like that, please. I don't need you to straight up decently. Stack. Please, thank you. I'm nosy. Today. My neighbor gonna say, mindfuck at that gaslighting ass. Oh, did you hear them people already? Oh, that was about last week sometime. That was just a couple fucking days ago. Like, I swear to God. She's like, oh no, you didn't hear that. That was some. When I tell you I'm not in the bullshit, I'm not in the bullshit mood. I'm all cried out. All cried out of bullshit and fucking bullshit and ass content. I'm fuck out. And it's like, it's not even funny. Like, she texts me like, "Are you smoking weed up there?" The look on my face is because I don't smoke weed. She know that. I'm in a certain position where I couldn't do it even if I wanted to. And it's not even a want, it's a fucking need. And I'm not even doing it. And then I had to remember her fucking son smokes. So why are you blaming everybody else for smelling weed in your house? And she's like, it's not him. I'm like, I accidentally walked up on him one day and he was smoking weed. What? I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do. But I know how Alzheimer's works. Trust me, I do. But I just, I think at this time right now, that's why my profession has changed. I do have patience for it sometimes, but now it's not one of those times. And it goes from 1 degree to a whole fucking other. I'm like, I could definitely follow, but the angle is ridiculous. Like, the guy that stole my shit and fucked up my damn door cam, front door cam, came by again last night, picking up trash right before 3 a.m. Why? So I tell her about it, send a screenshot. with time and date. And she goes, "Where is your trash can?" Just like the weed question. Am I up there smoking weed? And then she go, "I'm just playing." It ain't no motherfucking playing. Like damn, the maturity, the frontal lobe, it needs to redevelop. It needs to be worked on. It needs to be massaged. It needs to be stimulated. Needs to be. Self-discipline is a real thing. And I don't get these immature ass people that don't understand when they think they grown, they think they have learned everything and they're not growing. It's the problem. I got you, I got you, I got you. Saying you're grown and you're not growing keeps you stagnant, keeps you at your trauma, keeps you at your shadow, keep you at your ego, keep you at your pride. It's a bad combination. At your revenge, at your pettiness. It keeps you there. So in return, you're going to get what? Pettiness. I'm only a helpful reminder. I can suffer on my own if it's not really truly suffering. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's a temporary struggle. And that's how I look at it. But a lot of times, I could really I could be to myself. For real, for real. She gonna say, KD would have told me if them people was out there arguing, you a motherfucker lie. Because KD not tell you, I don't give a fuck what them people out there do. As soon as I hear arguing, I'm just, shit, if I got to duck, then I got to fucking duck and get out the way. That's all I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have to do because these people out there arguing. Other than that, KD is minding her motherfucking business. KD is in her skin that she is within. That's what KD is doing. KD, I don't give a fuck about what the people out there arguing about. I don't give a damn. They can be out there arguing till the cows come home, what the fuck ever. I don't give a damn. KD, you going out partying? You want to go out for drinks? No. No, thank you. I don't call it paranoid. I call it prepared. They think I'm fucking stupid. That's okay. I'll be slow and I'll be done to myself. Find a daddy with me. I mean, to go extra recluse off of what I was already recluse, it's just the more the merrier for me. Shit, I spend more time reflecting on my motherfucking shadow and integrating with my shadow rather than rejecting it. Because ultimately, right now, everybody's facing their fucking shadow. Ooh, that Scorpio and Mars. Mm-mm-mm. Shadow, shiesty train. That dark, the moon with the tarot card. Where's that? Let me show y'all. That's what I just got. The other moon card, and the moon card came out last night. That makes sense. The moon, yeah, the moon is in Mars. It's, and Scorpio is in Mars. Wait, not this one. Where is it? Somewhere right here. Let's see. There it is. You sneaky bitch. That's what it's about right there. The this yeah, the toxic was hidden no longer can be hidden right now. That makes sense. Cause she a damn Scorpio. Trifling. Unhealed, toxic Scorpio. People in their toxic energy is so trifling, y'all. The projection, yeah, is real, and it's at save my soul. I gotta check that shit straight up. Bring it down. Hold the fuck up. Age don't mean nothing. I've been that way my whole life, and had to be. I taught my children, you respect the people with the high and body. You ain't got to speak to no motherfucking body. And if they keep disrespecting you beyond that, you ain't got to say shit to them. No, absolutely not. I'm not fucking wrong for that one. It is what it is. So people, their energies been trying me, but they hoes get knocked down like anybody else. Mm, toxic ass water energy, toxic ass fire, water, whatever you want. Air, they fighting air and shit right now. It is and being exposed. Toxic ass motherfucker. Ah, that's a good question. I should ask her. Well, why did what's the name say? Well, you might as well go get KD help now. What? Why? Drop dead, Fred. What the fuck? Like, I'm just really tired of people's bullshit. I'm comforted in my shadow. My shadow. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. My shadow ain't shit compared to what people about to really face. You can't face yourself. What the hell else can you face? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Mm. So, anyways, people facing their shadows and being exposed for the toxic fucking ways. So, I don't got no mind. I don't got no mind really. If that's warring, damn, that's an easy war one. That is a very easy war one. So that's what energy y'all gonna be picking up on is people getting exposed as well. Well, we've been saying that, but right now it's not gonna be too hard to see. It's not gonna be hard to see at all. People being seen in their toxicity, especially if they have not been facing their shadow side, y'all gonna see it. Mm. And all you can really do is save yourself. Can't save nobody else right now. Shit, Mars is dry as fuck, and it's gonna be logic. Ugh, Yeah, people logic gonna be fucked up. That makes sense now. That note, and there's a whole confirmation for real. Just as messy and tacky. That's crazy as fuck. Hanging out with older folk ain't too much better than young folk. I just ain't got time for neither one of that bullshit for real. I don't try to make nobody a fucking casualty. It's different. It's different when you try to make people a casualty to your bullshit, and you the motherfucker that people try for. That's all I got to say. Try to like my land. Try to my land. So, damn. Give yourself credit. Be happy for what you have. Like, that's your shit. And then the girl gonna tell me you better get over it. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Get over it. I asked you why such and such happened. I didn't say I felt some type of way about it. I was confused as to why that happened. And just want to know if you could explain to me. If you can't explain to me, that means you trifling. You trifling. You can't have an open, honest conversation, but you swore to God that you can have an open, honest conversation. I just inquiring mind want to motherfucking know, can you put your foot where your mouth is? Can you put the pedal to the metal? It seems apparently not so. So, we're more into this shit. I'm gonna actually read about this diabolical oppression. It seemed like it's giving diabolical oppression. That demon, that motherfucker jumping everywhere right now. I'm ready to drop kick that motherfucker. Send his ass to purgatory. He is her, whomever. It must be her. The dark side of the fucking feminine energy, the unacquainted side, the shadow. That's the shadow. I put it back. I did. I put it back. It's not right here. Okay. Yeah, that is a shadow. That damn Scorpio. Motherfuckers think they slick. Yeah. I got more tricks than a little bit too. Lighting that candle on your ass. Return to God, because God gonna do what he do. Yeah. Shadow self. The dark and light. And what seems visibly brown skin doesn't mean that it's dark. But don't get it fucked up. Like these entities ain't waiting for a body to jump in or use. And I said that people are going to become unrecognizable as they turn the switches on higher. Fuck up the frequencies. That's the facts. Really sad. Really, really sad. Going out for dinner? No. Smoking? No. I don't. Motherfucking me. Ooh. Why it look like two people kissing? A man and a woman. Ooh, interesting. I just sketched some shit out and didn't even know. For real. I gotta. What is that called? Um, it's a way of channeling too. So that may be important to somebody. So when you kind of scribble, I forgot what they call it. What's a way of channeling? I always did that too when I was little. It's a way of channeling, get channel message as well. So I have a habit of doing that. I actually like to do that, and I never knew why. Now I know it's innately natural to do that as well. Hmm. So you may want to try that as well. Channeling messages and just kind of let things happen. Hmm. It's interesting. The picture actually popped up too. And that's crazy. It looks like the other part of the guy with the eyes. Huh. Interesting. Oh, hey, oh, hey, I did hear that beat the other day too. Oh, oh Lord. When they were running from the kidnappers, burglars, I don't know, whatever that was. Interesting. I like the Family Guy version of when I think it was Stewie and Brian when they were running through the cartoon. Oh no, it wasn't it the son. What's the son name? I don't know, forgot the son name. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm gonna go do some more research and dive a little bit more into this and see what we come up with, and I'll be back, y'all. But yeah, somebody get on your nerves, punch their ass in the throat. Trying to play with your energy.